Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while. I've been pretty busy the last month or so, dealing with moving and getting myself adjusted here, but I'm back now. Today I'm going to be going over Ripple and the cryptocurrency that they use is XRP, and it should be on everybody's radar, especially with the SEC case pending and it ending within the next month that has been announced by the CEO of Ripple. And I'm going to go over some of the news around Ripple as they join forces with Visa to conquer a multi-billion market of Thailand and Australia. Uh, Ripple partner with D-Money joins forces with Visa for global payments in Thailand. So far, Ripple has been all over the place, making deals all over the world. China has praised them, countries in Europe, Africa. They're building relationships and everything all throughout the world right now. And they're starting to move into Thailand and Australia, and they're partnering with Visa. That's a big move. And basically what they do is cross-border payments globally. It's mostly going to be for the banks, from one central bank to another central bank in a different country, and without the need of trust, since cryptocurrency is trustless. So these countries, even if they have issues, they can still trade and make exchanges on the ledger. For example, let's say if commodities like China has their currency backed by gold, that can be easily, which is tokenized gold, they can easily trade that with anywhere else in the world using this system. And this partnership allows customers to send funds directly to their friends and family debit card accounts in real time in more than 170 countries. That's telling you a lot. With over 160 transaction currencies. So it doesn't matter where you're from, who you are, what your currency, any of that. And it's 24/7. It's not like the banks where you can only go Monday through Friday, certain hours. Saturdays they might be open, and they usually close early. And for example, here in Mexico, Sundays it's completely closed, can't do anything. And look at this, International Bank of Australia gets RADI license. Ripple partners Novoty has built a bank. International Bank of Australia obtained as restricted banking license. The bank will be able to leverage Novoty's existing payments ecosystem and global operating system. So for the people that don't know this, that's a lot of money coming in there, institutional money that will make the market explode. Right now, XRP is around 35-40 cents, in that range, and there's some good money to be made before the SEC. But after the SEC case is done, XRP is going to explode, and it's going to be much more difficult to get as many coins. It's better to get in here early, and if you wait, you might miss the train like you did with Bitcoin, where it was selling at 2,000-3,000 and then it jumped to 80,000. I'm not a financial advisor or anything, but there's a big possibility of XRP, especially with the amount of institutional money, and like it said, over 170 countries, I believe it was, and it's growing and getting pretty crazy. So that's the news from that. But then we also get to Ripple lands a new country for a stablecoin pilot project, and so XRP is probably going to be involved. Ripple is definitely involved. Southeastern European country of Montenegro has announced a partnership with Ripple. The country's Prime Minister, Dr. Dritan Abazovarg, tweeted about the pilot project with Ripple January 18, 2023 via social media platform. And he has revealed working with Ripple on a pilot project for a digital stablecoin. So it doesn't matter what currency, whatever because all these CBDCs are being produced right now by banks all over the world. Mexico, US, China, everybody has their own stable coins. But in order for those stable coins to be able to work together and be exchanged one for another, you need something in the middle, a bridge currency. You know what that is? XRP. So there's going to be a lot of money being tokenized, assets, everything's going to be tokenized soon. Alright, Montenegro's intention with Ripple, XRP involved. Remarkably, Ivan Boskov, former director of Payment System and Financial Technology Department of Central Bank of Montenegro. Research has entitled Central Bank of Montenegro, How to Boost Banking and Payment Innovations in a Small Developing Economy. And look at this. However, some countries such as Singapore, Luxembourg, Malta, and among the frontrunners, their visionary policies have paid off, and they are now treated as role models many others. The key question is whether the success can be easily followed or copied. And he says one of the factors behind the aforementioned countries was the creation of a favorable political system which was necessary, and cooperation with Ripple could be another step in bringing knowledge and technology in the country. And that's facts, because Ripple's also being showed at universities, top universities. I think it was like MIT. I think I read about it. And it's crazy, like people that are being taught at these top universities are already being exposed to Ripple, to XRP, to these ledgers. And let's see more news on that. And then, yeah, that's about it for that. And then we're going to go to the World Economic Forum. Crazy stuff, where basically the richest people in the world get together. I think it was over 116 billionaires were there, all over from the world, in Switzerland and at Davos this year. And I believe Ripple is on actually the board of directors, I believe. So they're involved with a lot of big companies, names, and I'm sure this is where they made multiple deals with people all over the world, and things are being put in place. They've been on the World Economic Forum website. You can actually go on there and see what they're partnered with. Some of them that show up on there are Ripple, Algorand, XLM, which is Stellar, and I think Quant as well. All the ISO 222 coins. All of those are the bank coins that are on the list of they meet the requirements to be used by the banks, by institutional money, because normal crypto, you can use it, but it doesn't meet the regulations for that. But we'll see how that works out with the SEC finishing up. And then let's see. Okay, let's go into Ripple. Ripple rented out office space in Davos to conduct meetings and business during the WEF conference. Coinograph met with Ripple's APAC managing director inside Davos Hub to discuss the firm's involvement in this year's conference. And Twisted painted an interesting picture on an individual who had been past WEF annual meetings in different roles and different companies and organizations from early as 2009. Ripple has been in this industry, I'd say, I think since 2011, 2012. So, and we're in 2023, so good solid decade of them setting up the whole basis of the new economic system that's being put into place right now. And it's all on these, like it said in the previous article, they're setting up the pilots, they're testing this out, how these CBDCs will work. Everything is on that right now. And when you notice over time in the crowd changes, the promenade changes, and certainly with crypto over the past few years, it's been the case. In May 2022, you could not walk down the promenade without being offered a Bitcoin pizza. However, the prolonged downturns across the conventional and cryptocurrency markets, coupled with seismic events, collapsed on FTX and made a noticeable mark on the number of ecosystems participants and set up shop at the conference in 2023. The managing director of Ripple, Brooke and took a moment to our reporter Jenna Jenks about what's to come in XRP in 2023. For the likes of FTX, stalling the conference, there is nowhere to be seen. Instead, blockchain infrastructure provided Filecoin and Hedera. Hedera is also a good investment. Do your own research, but they're part of that. And notable presence alongside with that of Circle. Other firms maintain a presence outside and other events. It's definitely more muted now, but we're actually having a good, really good WEF with some of the noise and hype gone. The conversation and ability to go deep is more than an opportunity. If you think about the two powerful tracks and industries pushing the agenda outside the street, around Davos and around the region, and what's going inside, infiltration over time. As I said, 10 years, over 10 years, Ripple has been setting this up, the framework for the new financial system, because the old legacy system, it's falling apart. They're having issues. They're having bank runs by Bank of America, as called bail-ins, because they changed the laws on how they can basically just take your money and to cover their debts, because they're having a liquidity issue. They don't have enough money to cover their debts, and it's a big issue. But we can totally save them from going totally bankrupt or becoming obsolete or any of that is XRP, because they have liquidity on demand. You can make payments in pieces. You can do whatever you want with this to move assets from one place to another. Perfect bridge currency. Yep. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. That's about it for the World Economic Forum. Do your own research. But right now I'm going to be looking at XRP Healthcare news. I think it launched earlier in January, I believe it is. But this is going to do with everything with healthcare. And you see all these features in all these places: Binance, Yahoo, MarketWatch, Bloomberg, Seeking Alpha, CoinMarketCap, excuse me. And they just got listed on BitTrue right now for the first time. That's the first exchange. And later on, it's going to explode. And with healthcare, it's expensive. It's really expensive. That's why there's a lot of money in this. See this, Bloomberg, MSN. Look at this, business news. XRP Healthcare, the first decentralized pharma and healthcare marketplace built on the XRP ledger. DeFi Planet. Health Geniuses. And look at this. All these partners, everything. It's getting out of control with the amount of hype. Well, not hype. Backings of XRP, which is a part of, excuse me, sorry, brain freeze for a sec, but that's the XRP Ripple company. They're doing a lot of stuff. Do your own research, read some of these articles, but I'd recommend you get in here within the next 6 months before the SEC case is done. We got about between here and May, June is the latest it'll end. But it could end today, it could end tomorrow, it could end in a week, it could end the very last day. We don't know, but we know by this first half of this year, everything's been done. Judge has heard both sides, the SEC's, Ripple's case, the emails. There's a big, long information about that. You can do your own research on that. But basically, even Brad Garlinghouse has said, we have a pretty good case to win, because what the SEC is saying is they're a security. They might, even if they lose, worst case scenario, they're going to have to pay a fine and they take their money, but it's just chump change at that point, because XRP has billions of dollars in liquidity. They have enough money in reserves for basically anything. They've been setting up this framework for a long time. And Brad House just stepped down as the president of Ripple, and now he let one of the upper management, Emmy Long or something, and she just got promoted to president of Ripple. and she's been going around signing a bank a week. That's what they're saying. There are over 170 banks at this moment, and they're growing by the week. Every week, they're usually signing one more bank. And all over the world, sometimes in Asia, they're working in Latin America, they're working in Africa, they're working in Europe. They're After this SEC case, they'll be in the U.S. But what my thinking is, for the US, it's going to be at the very, 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 very end after everything's been set up, and then they're going to go up and ahead, and then after that, XRP is going to explode. So get your coins and save them. This might take a few years, but it'll be totally worth it. This is probably the next bull run. In the next bull run, XRP is going to explode. Hopefully, but we'll see how everything's being implemented with the banks. They're still working on their CBDCs. And once that's done, I'd say a year or two max. But it's better to get in early than try to get in when the hype's in and when the bull run starts and it's too late to get in. So that's all I have for you today. I'll probably be making more videos on the weekly basis. But thank you for your time. If you've made it to the end, I'll be bringing more stuff to you about XRP, debt. I'll be covering the two new projects by debt. One is, I think, blocks. I just bought a node for that. It was like 1,500, but they already raised the price to 2,000 since they already made like I think 20 million in sales already. So they raised the price from 1,500 to 2,000. Got it. And they also have a BEV, which is a beverage distribution blockchain. So basically, for those smaller companies that give drinks like water people, so smaller brands that don't have the distribution centers like Coca-Cola or Pepsi or one of the big names, but those also help smaller companies compete with those bigger companies. So that's also what I'm going to be doing, a video on each one of those. And then there's a couple other projects that I'm looking into, but I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research. Just bringing this out to the people and to be prepared, because the digital revolution, it's going full swing. Banks are doing it. They can't ignore this anymore. They have to either change and adopt this or be left behind and go bankrupt and lose everything. So they're trying to survive any way possible, and the only way they can see that is through blockchain technology. Cryptocurrency, I think, overall will survive, but it won't have that institutional money. But we'll see what the regulations are. If they are extremely confining, the only ones that are probably going to survive are the ones that have tokenized assets like that, which is backed by like oil, petroleum. I think they're going to have a water one. They have a natural gas one. They have food production one. They have quite a few commodities and really good metals, aluminum, gold, stuff like that. But we'll see what other projects they come with in this following year, because based on a couple of friends inside of that, they've told me that there's going to be, I think, a helium one, a carbon credits one, which carbon credits are going to be a big thing, because the World Economic Forum, they want that to be a big thing to get carbon out of the world. And I believe the US has said a lot of countries are setting up carbon credits where they'll pay you really good money to set up these machines to get the carbon out of the atmosphere. But there's good money to be made in that, and the world's going in that direction either way, and you can make your decision. You be either on the side of the bankers or go decentralized. I'm personally on both sides. I do believe in Bitcoin. I do believe in cryptocurrencies like Solana, stuff like that, and also all the bank coins. I like those too, because they have a lot of institutional money coming into that. But we'll see what happens in this coming year. But it's going to be a big year for crypto next year or two. Maybe we'll see a bull run, but we'll see definitely a small crash within the next month or two. So we're in February right now. I believe the crash will be here between here and before the SEC cage is finished for XRP. But only time will tell. For all I know, tomorrow it could be done and they announce XRP is not a security or it is a security, but we'll see how the markets react. But this is big for all cryptocurrencies. Thank you for your time, and if you stayed, thank you.